Hello gorgeous, I'm the Fairy Voice Mother, and today I'm going to be reacting to Marcelito Pomoy singing the prayer on the Wish Bus. Whatever the Wish Bus is. We are gathered here today due to the many requests I have received for me to watch and talk about this song. We've got prayers, we've got wish buses. It's gonna be a nice spiritual session today, I hope. We're gonna be fine. So we might as well get cracking. Hang on a minute, there is one thing. Wait for it. We have an intro now. Upgrade after upgrade over here, isn't it? Right to business. I don't know. Let's go.
Wish 1075.
I pray you'll be alright in watches where we go, and help us to be wise in times when we don't know.
It's extremely unusual for a human being of such proportions to have a natural sound production like that. This isn't his natural voice, you know, it didn't just fall out. A very conscious effort of holding back strength, thinning out his vocal cords to make it sound so delicate and feminine. So shrinking the space for the voice to resonate is where you can see he's kind of quite inanimate in the face there. Times where we don't know. And it gives the impression that his larynx is smaller than it is. The larynx is the area in which the voice is actually produced, where the folds flap.
All kinds of beautiful things happen in the larynx.
This amount of restraint is exciting me a great deal because it means there's a whole other dimension of singing that he's going to be capable of. If this is what he's like when he's fully restrained, what is he like when he's letting rip?
Let this be our prayer when we lose our way.
He's also really expertly manipulating his pharynx there. I do love a good pharyngeal manipulator. This is happening very prominently on the word way that he sings. Whether you're singing this word or any word really, you would always expect the singer to move the mouth to help this filter part of the process. Because when you look at this face that he's making, you'd think he was just doing like... All he has is the pharynx and the tongue to help him shape that sound. No cheeks, no jaw, no nothing. He's effectively calling us a bunch of amateurs. Oh, you have to lift your face to do that?
How cute!
Very skilled individual. My interest is piqued.
Lead us to a place.
There's a little lift.
With your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
So I've never heard this song before, but apparently Celine Dion did like a prominent version. And I know Celine Dion's voice, and I'm hearing a lot of similarities, and this tells me that he's probably really listened to that version a lot of times, and he's got the ability to kind of mimic some of those shapes and some of those timbres with his, you know, manipulation techniques. So power to him. He's staying true to himself at the same time as learning from the greats. I love him already based on that alone. There it is!
I pray you will find your light. Nel cuore resterà, in hold within our hearts, a ricordarci che stars go out each night, eterna stella sei.
Okay.
Let this be our prayer. When the furniture, when shadows fill our day, lead us to a place
He's used his lips and his jaw to help put his larynx into that whole lower realm, to help him move so seamlessly between these registers. Ooh. And now at this point, because of the extreme nature of what he's doing, he's succumbing to a technique that us mere mortals would use, and that is face help. That is not the official name of a singing technique, but he's using his face to help, so face help. A little tension arises in the cheeks when he goes to the next bit. Find your love. The tension here. And we can also start seeing a little bit of bulge here due to the added tension that is bound to happen. When he opened the song, he was up in this register the whole time. So his breath and his folds had chance to kind of adjust and get used to this position so they didn't have to try too hard. Now there is so much happening in these transitions. The vocal cords are changing their oscillating speeds really, really, really rapidly. He's down there, so they're like this, and when he's up there, they're like this. And every time he transitions between high and low, the vocal cords have got to make a new adjustment, new adjustment, new adjustment. One of the biggest challenges is equalizing the subglottal pressure. Perhaps when he's going from low to high, he's maybe adding a little bit too much, which means the neck is feeling a little bit of strain where it's got to make sure that it gets up there. Wowee. What is really fascinating about this as well is his low voice is being produced in a very slack, relaxed, forward classical shape. But his higher voice is not in the classic kind of forward cry position, like soprano-y kind of. No, he's actually gone for a much more contemporary, pingy, bright sound up here. I pray you'll find your love. And that is a lot to do with why this sounds like two different people singing, because they're two completely separate techniques. The low one is operatic, and the high one is kind of contemporary, twangy, Celine Dion kind of thing. He didn't do, which is a natural progression from this shape, you know? You would assume that, but he didn't. So, that is bloody terrific.
Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace.
Nice.
Give us faith so we'll be saved. Sogniamo un mondo senza più violenza.
That's lovely.
Un mondo di giustizia, di speranza. Ognuno di la mano a sua vicina, simbolo di pace, di fraternità. La forza che ci dai. We ask that life be kind. Ed essere ocean in waters from above. Ognuno trovi amore. We hope it's so we'll find. Intorno e dentro sé another soul to love. Let this be our prayer. Let this be our prayer. Just like every child, just like every child.
Amazing.
Need to find a place, guide us with your grace.
Yeah, see there. Even though he's going up to some of those higher notes now, as the low classical character, need to find a place, you know that even though those notes are high, it's not the high contemporary character because of the very distinct style choices that he's made. And in terms of this really thick, rich classical section when he's going for some of those higher notes, I'm by no means an opera singer, so I don't know if this is good for like opera standards, but based on what I do know, he's having a bloody good go.
Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved.
Oh, that was very open throat. Sorry,
vento che ci salve.
Wish exclusive on Wish 106.
What a curious act. Is that a yawn? I think that was a little pharyngeal stretch. So much has gone on, it needs a little bit of a yoga. Oh no. Singing a duet with yourself. My mind's telling me why. My heart's telling me why not. This reminds me of what I thought I was doing when I was like 9 years old watching High School Musical in Breaking Free. And that was me thinking it couldn't be done. One could not simply be Troy and Gabriella in the same song. Wow. That is what he needs to do next. If you ever see this, Marcelito, and you're ever at a loose end, if you did Breaking Free from High School Musical, I would fully lose it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There are no rules on how you can and can't express yourself. I've seen it time and time again, people coming to me saying they don't like the sound of their own voice. But the problem is they've restricted themselves into such a specific style. It is not because they have received an insufficient voice from God. It is because they are limiting themselves in how they are using it. I think doing impressions of other singers is an amazing way to find out your natural strengths and weaknesses. Because doing impressions doesn't mean that you're going to turn into someone else. It just means that you can be inspired by certain techniques and use them in their own singing, which is clearly what Marcelito has done here. He's listened to the kind of sounds that Celine Dion makes and emulated them, you know, his own version of them. And the same as the other guy, I think Andrea Bocelli, he was the classical guy, and he's just emulated that. That's my prediction. I mean, maybe he's been classically trained. Again, I haven't been classically trained, so I can't give my 10 cents on that. I would bet that he's taught himself most of this. You know, maybe he's had vocal lessons to kind of understand the anatomy. He's being extremely original by being unoriginal. Just when you think you've seen it all, eh? Thank you so much for watching this video with me today. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I've enjoyed making it. If there are any singers you would like to see me react to, please do let me know in the comments, as it would be my pleasure. I love you so very much. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you next time. Mwah. Bye!